Okay, so just an update on the Bondi Beach terrorist attack that happened last weekend on December the 14th, 7 p.m. in Sydney. It looks like 15 people died, well, 16 if you include the terrorist gunman father. So the terrorist attack was carried out by a father and son, and yeah, so just doing some research. According to the reports, how many people died? Okay, so 15 civilians killed. Approximately 40 to 43 people were injured, including two police officers who were seriously injured, who were in serious critical conditions, and a heroic bystander who disarmed one gunman. As of Tuesday evening, December 16th, around 20 patients remained in hospital across Sydney facilities, with some in critical conditions and others being discharged. Again, these figures are consistent across major news source. A major source like ABC News reporting 15 killed, over 40 injured, The Guardian, New York Times, CNN, NBC, even Wikipedia. Right, so I should check the Wikipedia entry anyway. The details on the perpetrator or the terrorist who carried out this terrorist attack. The father son duo, Saji Akram, age 50. The father shot and killed by New South Wales police at the scene during an exchange of fire. And the son, which is a 24-year-old Avi Akram, the son, the Australian-born, critically injured, gunshot wound, disarmed by heroic bystander, arrested at scene, hospitalized under police guard, and expected to face significant terrorism-related charges once stabilized. As of latest reporting, he has regained consciousness. Wait, it says he's Australian born, but he arrived here in. You know what? I'll just continue reading. So the terrorist arrived in Australia in. Sadiq Akram arrived in Australia in 1989 on a student visa and later transferred to a partner visa and held an Indian passport. Well, I believe it was Pakistani, but yeah. Oh, so this is the father. Da, da, da. Yeah, on guns. Da, da, da. So this is a description of the father who was killed. He was a licensed gun possessing 6 firearms, including long arm rifles and shotguns used in the attack, obtained for recreational hunting. Police recovered all weapons with 4 seized at the scene. The family lived in Western Sydney. Police raided their homes and a separate address in camps where the pair had been staying. In November 2025, a month before the attack, the duo traveled to Phillips, Indian passport, Australian one. Investigations are ongoing to possible military style training links given NICE's field. Okay, so here it is. Motive and ideology. The Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and police have described the attack as inspired by Islamic State (ISIS) ideology. So again, this is just highlighted. This is an Islamic terrorist attack carried out by Islamic jihadist terrorists. Evidence includes 2 homemade ISIS flags, an improvised device (IED), found in a vehicle registered Navi. This is the father parked at the scene. Disposal, removal, remove them safely. A third ID was later located. So again, this could have gone worse because if those IEDs went off, it could have killed even more. But let's just ask Grok AI if those many more people would. And yeah, again, this is highlighting. So the father seems to. The father was previously investigated by Australian ISO, which is the Australian Security Intelligence Agency, in 2019 for close ties to Sydney-based ISIS cell, including connections to convicted terrorists. So the father was a known terrorist, or was connected to a known terrorist. The guy shouldn't just have been deported straight away. I mean, if you're connected to a known terrorist, or if you're part of a terrorist organization, you should be deported. Your visa should be scrapped. I'm sorry, it should have been teared up. I mean, send them all for all I care. So again, this I'm just going through the details of the weapons that was used. So here it is. This is the long gun here, and this must be the father here, and this must be the son here. And here's the details of the weapon. Looks like it's maybe spring loaded. Sure. Let me just check the details of that weapon. Yeah, it could have been clip or mag fed, but I think it's more clip fed because if there was a mag, it would be sticking out of the gun, like here. So it looks like this is more of a clip fed gun. So a clip is just a piece of metal that holds multiple rounds into the gun, and then when it empties, it makes like a ka-ching sound, and then you just, yeah. Fast cycling. Uh, yep, there. So
Here's a quick tip for all you Mauser guys out there. If you want to unload your rifle really quickly, you can go ahead and mess around with that floor plate. Use that button and press the floor plate back, and then deal with mom's spaghetti spilling out everywhere.
just going through AI. So again, it could have got worse. Thank God the heroic bystander came in to disarm one of the terrorists, even though he got shot. That's just terrible. Um, and that's it for today. So again, just going through a summary. Thousands, like if the ID went off, which is the explosive device, it could have injured even more people. So anybody within 5 to 10 meter radius would be instantly dead. And if anybody within a 50 to 100 meter radius would be injured. Given that this was a family event, it could have gone even worse. I mean, it's just thank God it didn't. This just highlights that this extreme ideology, right, needs to be challenged. And people with connections to terrorist organization should be screened and they should be immediately deported. And their family members should be under surveillance because honestly, we don't want a terrorist attack like this ever happening again. Enough is enough. I mean, the fact that this terrorist has guns and weapons, I don't blame guns because there are plenty of people in Australia that has guns, like 3%, I guess, but they mostly use it for farming. So again, a farmer having a gun, trying to protect his livestock from predators, wild animals, is different than this terrorist carrying out a terrorist attack. So I don't blame the law abiding citizens who are just out hunting ducks and whatnot. I blame the terrorist. And I think we should have a strict immigration policy, a zero tolerance towards terrorism, zero tolerance. Because over 15 people died here. It is the worst terrorist attack since Port Arthur, which I believe killed about 35. But people who don't have Australian values shouldn't be in Australia. I'm sorry, that's just being honest. Anyway, that's it for today.